Good morning and welcome back to the Angry Poolman channel, where we learn how to treat our pool and our pool man. And it's Thursday today. We're outside the demoralizer as per usual. We get here first so we can add water if we need to, maybe go around the street. And we're all on the same street here today, except for one. We have a new customer in my community, so right down the street from me. That will be really beautiful. You got to see this pool. It's not so big, but it is very high end and has some things that I guarantee that some of you have never seen before. Anyway, let's get back here and clean up the demoralizer. Okay, this message is to pool men. Well, actually, this message is to anybody. But the point that I'm trying to make here before I even got back to the pool, here's our Jandy equipment set, right? We have our main pool pump, right? The main circulation pump that does most of the work day to day. Here is a laminar pump, meaning a jet pump, and these two pumps are the pumps for the swim jets, right? They're vigorous jets that you swim against. So does anybody in class want to say what they see on these pump baskets? And then here is our regularly scheduled program, right? Notice around here, see how it's full of algae. And why? Because those pumps don't run at all in my absence. That's why I run them every week. But unfortunately, for whatever reason, they are still, that's straight up algae. Okay, so it's probably time to change our pool RX, but that's really no excuse. Now, if we go back here and we see algae, we'll know why. Okay, up here at the demoralizer at the spa, and you know, they take out the floater when they use it, and that's perfectly normal. But I'm gonna get to brushing here. If you remember, we just changed out, not cleaned, changed out these Jandy, a lot of road noise. There's Jandy filter cartridges here, right? Okay, so the pool looks pretty good, but it's just, this pool really never looks very good week to week. I think that there's always these little areas of algae that I'm like brushing right now that they should never be, and especially with a pool with brand new filter cartridges. Unfortunately, the reason that we have this algae is they have little pee-pee kids here, and a lot of them. And then on top of it, this is like the community pool where everyone comes. Hey, let's go over to so-and-so's pool. And you know, as you can see, this is a pretty big pool as pools go today. You'll see the pool that our new account today, which is actually that pool that I took over, is going on a couple years old. So, but yeah, this should never be here. And this is a dead spot of the pool. Like, there's no return line here. You know, when the spillover takes place, it really misses this area. And then when the kids are here, then do their deal, and they are doing their deal. Okay, I got other pools in the same neighborhood, and none of them have the same problem. Now Sector 9 has some issues, but it's also in a dead spot. Anyway, I really don't like brushing. It means that I'm losing. Wow, that is a tremendous amount of algae. Yeah, they just sit here and pee. That's straight up what happens. And since the pump goes off every day at 4, there's often times where they're swimming. And like you just saw, I mean, they take out the floater, and everybody does that. But that's why we have the issues that we have. Why is there algae here every week? Those are the reasons. And I'll tell you another thing. I am going to create schedules for each one of those pumps. Those are the small pump is those deck jets here, and then those 2 large pumps were the swim jets in the side of the wall here. And I haven't started the pump here because I wanted to clearly see everything that I was brushing. Also wanted to definitely see this wall here. Yeah, that is tons of algae. And why does that happen? Because the kids pee in the spa, and then the spa overflows, and all that algae develops right around the spa overflow. So yeah, that's not good. Yeah, see, this is all, I'm like waking up all of this algae. Yeah. Hey, look at the bright side. At least we're not having to add water, right? The homeowner must be elated about that. Yeah. Okay, so unfortunately we don't have a, oh, that's empty. I gotta go back and fetch some liquid. I'm gonna take, oh, that one's near 100%. I usually take my remnants and I put them in here. Oh, hi. Hi, Stuart Little. Sorry. Oh, poor guy. That'll ruin your day. Okay, so now it's time to run the pump. And I'm gonna get everything that's in the basket. blowing things everywhere. Now these are the Aquachecks. I think these are the 5s. Yeah. These are, we use the 7s around here. Okay. Okay. Okay, so now let's notice that yellow ring around each one of these pump, well, that's the yellow ring was on inside of the pump basket, and yeah, that's all gone. We have to have these run. They just don't run at all in my absence. So we probably have to, not probably, we have to add a schedule so they all do run. Yeah, I'll just run them again. They're really loud, so let's so I'm putting in service mode. I'm giving power to the pump. Remember, this is a Jandy system, so the pump will just come on automatically. If we were in a Pentair system and we put it into service mode, we have to go over to the pump and operate it oftentimes. Okay, so I was putting it in spa mode in order to fill it. Okay, so our actuator is going back to pool mode, and our pump is primed, right? Okay, so those are all good. All good, all good. And I do have to go back and add a little more liquid, but otherwise I feel pretty good about this. Our Zodiac MX6 is doing his thing. Okay, and if you've been watching last couple days, there's a ton of all these leaves, these wings from whatever they are, insects. I like moths. So we always do this to use our toilet brush here. Mine definitely needs replacement, but it's still getting the job done. So that's what I do that to make sure that that looks good week in and week out. We can replace our skimmer basket and our skimmer cover. Okay, so there's still a bunch of things on the surface of the pool, and I'll just fetch those real quick. You know, the technique with the net, when you got something on the surface, is obvious, right? You just scoop it in. But the technique where something is on the surface, something flat, right? Right next to the drain, there's a little something. So I'm gonna run up to it and stop. Pull back. And that thing will literally leap right into my net. It is like the woman. You touch and then you pull away. You touch and then you pull away. Okay, I feel really good about this. Brand new filter cartridges. Certainly not perfect water chemistry. I got to go back to the truck and add a gallon, but yeah, perfect salt, 3600 salt, and I did a salt cell clean. I have to do a Jandy salt cell clean video. I apologize for not having one out so far, but we'll get that in the next couple of weeks, but we can move on. Okay, we're here at our geometric pool, and gosh, it has kind of this little bit of a Beetlejuice vibe, and that it's not a perfect rectangle or square or whatever, but I absolutely adore this pool. It performs so well. Yeah, it's a new pool, it should, but I just love the design. That Baja shelf is huge, dual spillways, I think that's awesome, and the pool speaks for itself. When I get here, I am just a steward of the water. The Zodiac MX6 keeps us clean on the ground, on the bottom rather, and scrubs the walls in my absence. We can move on to the stock tank. Okay, we're here back at the stock tank, and man, this is an era of gladness and happiness. Look at the crystal clear nature of the pool, and then check out our chemicals. Ain't nobody swimming, just like from last week. The chlorine was super sky high. Now that it's just kind of sky high. 7.2 pH, so nobody swimming. I'm not even going to need to look in the floater, because whatever is in there, there's nothing in there. We have plenty of chlorine, and we don't need to add any more. And we don't need to add any muriatic acid because the pH is absolutely perfect. So I love this new cover. We have 4 clips on it, and we just keep 2 on, peel it back. This thing stays floating, which is the difference, and like I said last week, has precluded me from having to build a foam cover, which frankly I don't think anyone wanted to take on or off. And I swear, after those winds that we had with the tropical storm, that cover, who knows where it had been. I mean, the winds weren't that bad, but if it's foam, it's gonna fly. So this is great. We keep it down. The homeowner is leaving me this filter here. Apparently they might think that I should be changing it or anything. It's not time to change it. We don't need to do a filter clean every time. I think they're kind of under that impression, but the water speaks for itself. I'm going to hit it with the Telsa 90. I'm going to brush every square inch, and then we can move on. Okay, we have made it to Sector 9, and a couple of days ago I was texted a photo by the homeowner, and God bless him, thank you for your communication. I love it. I can't get enough. Some people think that they're bugging me or whatever. This is what I do for money, okay? This is how I trade my time for dollars. So the point is that he had texted me a photo of the pump, and it had sucked air, and I immediately knew what was going on, and we're going to rectify that today. So our Zodiac MX6, in all of his zealous effort, he breached and he sucked a big old gulp of air. And and then when the homeowner saw it, it was just timing, right? Just like everything in life, it's all timing. So he saw what he saw, and then he texted me that photo, and a couple hours later I asked him, you know, did you make sure to put it in service mode, because that was what he was going to do. And he said, hey, it righted itself. And it's like, hey, hallelujah, that's really cool. But the point is that I need to adjust either through RPMs or on my valve so he doesn't breach anymore. Do I love the fact that he climbs these sheer walls? And most of these terra firma pools, they have really straight up and down walls, right? He climbs them. He thinks he's a robotic pool cleaner. So anyway, I just love this pool, although we've had some algae issues here in this corner, and yeah, this week is no difference. And they're anyway, no problem, we will get to work. Okay, I feel really good about this. The Sector 9, there is no the. Sector 9 is an awesome pool. Once again, a terra firma pool, a Jandy pool. So yeah, this is looking really good, sparkling. We are looking really good. No duck intrusion. Everything is off the floor of the pool. We brushed every square inch. Didn't have to add anything but a tab. So we're just trying to keep the cyanuric up to hold on to what we do have. Zodiac MX6, I'm not sure. I think the homeowner might have actually added a length of hose, because he wasn't making it out there last week. But anyway, that's really common. We gotta replace those hoses on all of our cleaners, which is part of the Poolman's Bill of Rights. We can move on to our new account. Okay, we are here at our last stop of the day at our new customer. And I'm sorry, we're gonna play that silly game before I reveal the beauty of the pool. We're gonna go down to the equipment where it is below grade. And yeah, so getting to the pool is, getting to the equipment will be a challenge in itself. Okay, so pool's running up there, and we saw our Pentair Rebel. He ain't doing nothing, so I don't like that. But here, let's get this over with here. This is a Pentair pool. Love the easy touch and everything. We have variable speed pumps for our water feature and our jet. We have an additional filter canister, and this is our main pool pump here, our suction side going through our filtration, heating, chemistry, and then returning back to the pool. Okay, you might have noticed, what the heck is this? Okay, so this is what's called a Pentair IntelliChem system, an IntelliChem system. So what we have here is what I call them honey pots. You know, they just kind of look like beehives to me. So I call them honey pots. The honey's inside. Those lids are on tight, and they either contain chlorine or, as you may be able to read upside down, muriatic acid right there. So, hey, it's all happening right down here. There is not a salt cell on this pool. This, once again, chlorine's always the player, but the way we're making chlorine is and the last pool guy was here storing his stuff here. This is the end of that era. Actually, I might be able to store some stuff here, but certainly not in this ramshackle manner. So just let's get to the point here. This is kind of like, and unfortunately, if you know what it is, a dialysis machine. To, like, you know, if you have some relatives or maybe yourself, you have been on dialysis for your blood, this is exactly does the same thing. It moves the fluid throughout this mechanical device, right? It makes this little whining noise, and it sucks some, in this case chlorine, and will through this hose bring it into the return side, and then we chlorinate our pool. Now, I haven't even taken our chemicals here yet today, because this is my first visit, second visit really, but my first service visit, and this is our IntelliChem system right here, right? And some diabolical installer thought it would be funny to put that in there. So, but I brought my glasses. There is a little teeny weeny LED readout, and fortunately I do know what I'm doing here with this thing. So there is set points that you're gonna, you know, say for the pH and for the chlorine, there's set points that the system will keep for you, right? And that's what's there's gonna be the physical actual taking. There's a little pump here, as it were, and it's gonna suck a little, and it's gonna deliver a little. It's gonna, when the pH gets too high, it'll add a little bit of muriatic acid. So, but otherwise, it's just a normal Pentair system with three pumps and 2 filter canisters. Hey, this is the ilk of the pools that are here in our neighborhood, and that's awesome. I love that. I get to do double the filter cleans here. Also, that being said, what's another thing, class? We're below grade, right? I already mentioned that briefly, but yeah, this is a big deal. So when we're talking about filter cleans, there's a lot of implications, right? If we don't have all of our valves, our Jandy valves shut off here, the world will be coming at us. But I digress. I'm gonna get to work here. There's no need for me to put the helmet cam on here, but what I will do is please comment below if you have one of these systems and you'd like me to make a video. Let me say that again. If you'd like for me to make a video on these IntelliChem systems right here, please comment below and I'll get to work on a video for you. In the meantime, I'm gonna get to work. Okay, that is what it looks like when it's operating. Okay, see, we have something that's spinning around. It's taking that ORP, it's taking that chlorine, and it's adding it via this hose right back to the pool, and it's going back to wherever. We haven't even really touched any one of these. There's a spa bypass valve, and yeah, there's a couple of things that we might be changing as far as valves are concerned, but everything else is looking good. Wow, there's adding quite a bit of chlorine. So I'm gonna get topside and take my chems with a regular old Tetz strip. So this pool has quite a story. These people were owner builders. They built their own pool with help of their dad, who obviously has some swimming pool industry experience. So yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't really get you guys familiarized with the pool. So we have our L-shaped pool, beautiful, huge Baja shelf. You could put 2 or 3 chairs on that, enjoying the sun. Our perimeter overflow spa, okay, and right now it is just overflowing just perfectly, pushing anything towards our skimmer, which is over there, and our Pentair Rebel is working for us, keeping the bottom clean. So yeah, that's my Pentair Rebel, and we're gonna do an overhaul on the current one. So let's go back down to our equipment, which yeah, I'm gonna get me that pool too. Look out, Pool Sense, I'm coming for you. I'm gonna take them all. Anyway, so back down to our equipment here. A nice little stairway. And so, you know, I wanted to talk about the scope of work, right? And the fact that, you know, I gotta walk all the way down here. That's part of the scope of work. So anyway, that's plays into the pricing, right? So anyway, there's a couple of kites down here. Wouldn't you think it'd be great to fly a kite? Hopefully you don't fly it into the power lines like Thomas Edison. So anyway, our IntelliChem system is working perfectly, and we have something in the pump basket which we're going to retrieve. Yeah, there's something in there. We'll get that too. Let me put the head cam on for that so we can figure out. Oh, I left the head cam topside. Sorry, we'll get that next week. But yeah, we're almost ready to move on. Almost. Okay. Love them leaf blowers. Yeah, so the pool is back alive. We've retrieved everything from the pump basket, and we got everything from the jet pump. There is a water feature schedule that I added in the afternoon. Okay, too much noise. Going back up top. Okay, I feel really good about this. First day is always the longest day, having some homeowner interaction and interface. And then we've also met our new buddy here. Now, apparently there are 2 more of these guys here, and we'll meet them in the coming weeks. Guys, if you got anything out of this, give me a like, subscribe if you haven't done so, and comment if you got something to say. I'm the original swimming pool fiduciary working for you guys out here in the field. I'm the Angry Pool Man. Guys, be excellent to each other, and I'll see you on the next video.